All right, so I'm sorry, I forgot that I was live. So I'm getting ready to prepare for a team training on Twine. And Twine is an open source interactive um fiction writing tool that I learned when I was at Full Sail. I got to see what's going on here. We are streaming to Adobe. I'm gonna go ahead and close you. And we're streaming on YouTube. So everything worked like it's supposed to. I don't have anything. So I just decided to go ahead and get the live stream started. I guess I'll do Instagram since I have to set that up. So yeah, so it should be interesting. Actually, I gotta fix some stuff with the plugin. It's not using the right photos. So we're gonna call this Be Terrific Media Staff Training Wine Introduction. Make that public. Give me my stream key. Another restream. And we'll go ahead and activate Instagram. Put that in, save. I'm already live, so that should happen. The stream key changes each time I live stream. It's not like all the other streams where it just stays the same. Hopefully they fix that. All right, so now we are going to be live on Instagram, and with my new desk setup, I will be able to see when somebody joins. All right, and yep, I got that off. Um, there we go. I will be able. So, actually, I think I gotta move this over a little bit just so I can see. So I can see Instagram. This is one of my faves. How are you doing tonight? All right. So I can close you. I can close you. Oh no, I'm not supposed to close Restream. I'm supposed to keep that up. Just in case somebody does try to talk to me. Where's my iPad? So am I still live or did I mess everything up? Nope, still streaming, still streaming. All right, I don't need to do use, I just need my channels to go up. I don't know why the Facebook page isn't working. So that's annoying. Like got to get the staff training, wine production. Introducing Twine. Right, yep, we're already live streaming. So why aren't you showing me chat? I gotta do a better job with something else. Oh, okay. So I should be able to. So I don't need to be open. So that's good to know. And I shouldn't. Wait, why? Hmm. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and close that. And then let me pull up the training. Ready for games. Everything is good. I am going to. Oh, this is cool. I can see how it looks on Instagram. Don't see how it looks over here. Oh, shit. Saying I'm live, but you're not showing me. You're not showing me what I want to see. But it does look like the chat should be working. I guess I'll say hi and see. Okay, so all right, so YouTube, Facebook isn't working like always. I think they're doing something where they're probably making it even more private. They took away the Facebook group option. Feel weird about wearing a hat these days. So let me remember. I want to make sure that. So the meeting starts at 8. So I need to go take care of some stuff first. Look at those grades. I finished second. So the cool thing about this, actually, I'll say that for when my staff comes on. Speaking of which, I need to let them just kind of like join. So I'm gonna let them join automatically. I forget how to do that. Do I need to? I thought all this was supposed to be like on the same screen. Um, Still getting used to using Zoom again. I feel like, oh, I don't think you were able to do that before. Oh, that's cool. All right now, okay. I don't know. I think I'll be in the way of what I'm trying to show though. So without, let's see, does my room look junky? Yeah, I know that. It's not junky. Yeah, I'm still straightening the books that are over there out. Twitch. Oh, you tell me. Oh, oh wait, yeah. I need to be able to see if somebody is chatting with me on Twitch. That's the only thing that's. Let's see. I just feel like I don't. I feel like I don't know what I'm sharing because, all right, like I see that you're in green, so I know I'm sharing you, but why is my Oh, wait. They really changed this up. So wait, so if I enlarge this and I have it set to the browser, am I still able to manipulate all this? Well, no. My screen sharing is paused. So no. Yeah, it was like I was able to view myself. That's annoying me, and I need to use the bathroom. Nope, that's not what we want either. View standard, my screen. Yeah, I don't like this. I need to. Oh, I gotta do it like how I used to do my YouTube videos. Okay, so I am going to enlarge you just a tad, bring you in some so that I can reach, and then numbers. So I'm going to set this up so that they can come into the room automatically. I'm going to step out. Right, so be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, so that looks really big on Instagram. Hmm. Right, 3 minutes for somebody that had everything set up at the time that the meeting's supposed to start. I tell them I'm recording and they all get louder. Combat system. Wait, that was week one? Is this right?
So if you have seen the episode of Black Mirror that watched on Netflix, it's called Bandersnatch, these two directions. But if you play through Paradox, you watched on Netflix, it's
There we go. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, sorry, it took me a minute to get the unmute.
Huh?
It took me a minute to get the thing unmuted, sorry. But hey,
No, you're fine. I see. I gotta turn my volume up. Oh man. All right. So we're waiting on. Oh no, everybody's here. Oh, why is my? I need to make this bigger so I can see. Hi, everybody. I didn't see everybody was in. All right. Let me turn this down. All right. So So Twine is a system. I'm gonna have some other people explain it to you guys, but this is how you get to it. You can just type in Twine into Google, and usually it should be the first thing that it should be the first thing that pops up. You can click on it, and then you can download it onto your desktop. That's what I have, but you can also work on it in the browser. Now, if you work on it in the browser, I think it saves for maybe like a week or so. So after like 2 weeks, the stories that you're working on, they might delete, or you run the risk of maybe clearing your history and then it deletes. So I if you do want to, to practice this, I would download it to your desktop. It has a Mac version and it has a Windows version, so make sure you pay attention to that. So I came across Twine when I was in my graduate program, and this particular course was called Writing for Games. And the cool thing about the course was he made everything a game. Like we were competing for the highest score. I ended up with the second highest. And as you can see, like this was week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And we were supposed to try to earn these badges, and each badge represents an actual skill in the video game writing field. So I don't remember how many I got, but this is the reason why I came in second, because the other guy, I think the guy who finished first had them all. But yeah, so this is what I'll be using to kind of like guide our training as far as becoming video game writers, or game writers, I guess I should say. But Twine in particular is lesson 1.7. And I'm gonna play this video for you guys. Let me know if you can hear it.
So if you have seen the episode of Black Mirror, now you can watch it on Netflix. It's called Bandersnatch. It's about a video game designer. And the quirk of the show, for those of you who haven't seen it, is you can choose between two options according to where you want the scene to go, and the TV show changes accordingly. Now, sometimes it's just a mundane choice, like between two different boxes of cereal in the very beginning. But other times, like this scene here, it's a dilemma. In this scene, you have to choose either your player character can jump off a balcony, or you can tell your friend to jump off a balcony instead, and he'll do it. These two characters are on drugs at the time. That's why they're doing this. I'm not sure how well explained it really is in the show. I thought it was just kind of okay. But what you can see here, you can see the decision trees. So usually when we talk about a branching narrative, we're talking about how the narrative goes off in these two directions. But if you play through Bandersnatch a few times, you'll see that a lot of the choices you seem to be making converge, and they keep drawing you back to a central storyline. That might seem very limiting, but studies show that players don't actually enjoy a totally open world with nothing but options. They do like to be brought back. That said, it takes something away from it if they're always coming back to the same story, and all of the consequences that seemed to result from their choices were just illusions. This is the game Wolf Among Us, and it's got a fairy tale theme. It's actually based on a comic book by Bill Willingham called Fables. This was made by the now defunct Telltale Games.
Toad. Bigby! Listen, mate, I know I don't look human. It's a problem, I'll get it. I just stepped out the apartment for just a second to see what kind of damage this drunk shit is doing. Just cut me a break, yeah? I'll get me glamour first thing in the morning. Cross my arm.
Okay, so this is what we mean by branching dialogue. And we've been working with branching narratives by making choose your own adventure style stories in Twine. But in the professional world of game writing, branching dialogue is what you see again and again across all different types of games. Usually, when there's a choose your own path type situation, it's a dialogue choice. So writing branching dialogue is one of the more important professional skills you can develop in writing for games. Now, Wolf Among Us is kind of special because you don't choose the exact words that the character's going to say. You choose the idea that he's going to convey, and then he does that through his own personality.
I can't give you a free pass on this stuff. My hands are tied. Boy, there's too much at stake.
Is the player is only choosing like the gist of it. But once it's filtered through the character, that's when you get what we think of as personality.
Which was the owed you?
100.
Yes, bad for you to show up empty-handed.
So as you can see in Wolf Among Us, most of the choices, even if they're not life or death decisions, they still involve character in some very important way. So it's not a life or death dilemma, but at least it's important. And if you've only got two options instead of the four that we saw before with the dialogue, it's really important that there be pros and cons for each of them, and that it isn't like, oh, this is the right one, you win. This was the wrong one, you lose. Okay, so a cutscene. Now that's generally not interactive. A cutscene is when the action of the game stops and story takes over, and you see a scene just like you would from a movie that has been triggered by something the player did, either a decision they made, or the fact that they completed a level, or the fact that they died. Some people say they are on their way out in video games. They're probably going to be around for a long, long time. And we're going to watch one now from Far Cry 3. I'll just show my age a little bit and tell you that it's not exactly my cup of tea, but it's well written, it's very well performed, and it's typical of what a cutscene in a video game is. So let's enjoy this terrible, terrible moment in somebody's life.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again. Expect shit to change. That is crazy. But the first time somebody told me that, I don't know, I thought they were bullshit. So I showed them. The thing is, he was right. And then I started seeing it everywhere I looked. Everywhere I looked, all these fucking pricks. Everywhere I looked, doing the exact same fucking thing. Over and over and over and over and over again. Thinking, this time it's going to be different. No, please. This time it's going to be different. I'm sorry. I don't like the way you are looking. Okay? You have a fucking problem in your head. You think I'm bullshitting you? You think I'm lying? Fuck you. Okay? You. I'm gonna chill here, man. I'm gonna chill. The thing is, all right. The thing is, I killed you once already, and it's not like I am fucking crazy. It's okay. It's like water under the bridge. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Jesus.
So swearing in video games, very, very common. Here's a universal truth. There are two things that swear words can't do. They cannot shock, and they cannot convey emphasis. Kind of paradoxical, because those are really the two things that they're supposed to do, but they don't really do that very well. So if you really want to convey emphasis, instead of saying, that gun is fucking huge, let the actor do the emphasizing. And one thing you don't want to do with your dialogue or your description is to micromanage the performers. The idea is fewer words all the time. Another thing about that scene that is kind of ideal is it goes right into action. I think it could be a little shorter, but that is a very popular character, and what the hell do I know? What we can also say about a cutscene, you always want to feel like you're leaving the scene a little bit early, and you always want to feel like you got to the scene a little bit late. A game writer doesn't get a lot of say in what they get to work on, really. So the exercise for writing cutscenes, you're going to write a cutscene for somebody else in this class. They are writing a cutscene for perhaps you. You're all writing each other's cutscenes. That's because there's something very special about being a game creator and seeing someone else interpret your ideas, just like there's something special about being a writer and getting this actually very liberating framework to work within. This can be especially fun if it's not your genre. Now, if you get assigned to write a cutscene that's not in your genre, there's nothing to do but research, and research is fun. So you can write this in screenwriting software like Final Draft, that's fine. Every game company has their own preferred software. There isn't really a standard. Have fun with it, and if you have any questions, please let me know.
All right, so Twine. Oh wait, I gotta go back to the. All right, so Twine, as you can read here, is an easy to use way of creating a test adventure game. It's very easy to use, meaning students finding it addictive. And then he pretty much just gives us the directions on how to download it, just like I told you guys. So you just go to this link, you download it. If you have trouble opening it up, let me know and I'll walk you through it.
Hello, so let's take a look at Twine. Go to twinery.org. This just gives you a little introduction to what it is. Basically, if you've seen the Netflix show Bandersnatch or ever read a Choose Your Own Adventure book, Twine enables you to create branching narratives. I'm showing you it's right up there, and you want version 2.2.1. And once you've got it downloaded and installed, you should see something like this. This is to check the version, make sure it's the right one. And now I will just create a sample story with you in its out-of-the-box format. Go ahead and make a new story. And you can name it anything that you want. Calling my new story. And the first thing you're going to see is something called a passage. A passage is just like a page in a Choose Your Own Adventure book. This is going to be the screen that people see when they start. You can name it whatever you want. I'm calling mine the beginning. Double click to edit it, and now you can put anything you want. It's going to be the first thing. Most of the time, the first time that anybody, including me, writes a Twine story, it's always you wake up, your alarm is going off, and the first choice that we tend to give people is, do you hit the snooze button or do you just wake up and get ready? We should try to find something else for the first choice that they make. And it's fine to make it like Bandersnatch and most Choose Your Own Adventure, where there's only two ways it could go, which makes it technically a dilemma. Try to make it something where you can imagine half the people who play it are likely to go one way, and the other half are likely to go another way. It's one of those things that is a little harder than it sounds. Try not to make it a choice where it'll be 50-50 because the matter is so trivial that you could toss a coin, but it also doesn't have to be a matter of life and death. Now, most of this text is just the story that the player is reading. But when you want to introduce a decision for them to make or an option, make two brackets. the words that the player would click on to activate that choice, and close the brackets. That's the simplest way to do it. And what it's going to do, as you'll see, is it's going to create another passage that is named exactly that. Now, if you want to keep things tidier, you can use that pipe there. So you write the name of the action that they're going to take and how you want that to appear to the player. And then after the pipe, you put the name of the passage that you want that to direct them to. Okay, so when you've done that, just click outside of it and that saves it for you. And now you can see both those branches. So notice how the choices that this player is making can be of really any type. Some of them are physical actions. Some of them are speaking in a very general way about something. Okay, so if you were to run it just like that, you would see this. So first thing I'm going to point out is that we put those brackets right in the middle of a couple sentences. So you can choose them like that. Or we could make it a little menu, more like that. And just to give you another example of how styling it that way could be important or useful to you, here I'll make it so that if the character chooses to go to sleep, they go into a dream world in which they can go north, south, east, or west. This is in a style very similar to multi-user dungeons called MUDs, which were online multiplayer games of the 90s. So that should just about cover the very basics. If you still have trouble getting started with it, just let me know and we'll figure it out. So one quick final note about the look of the game that you're making. The out-of-the-box format is called Harlow. I'm actually not a fan of it myself. It's totally fine to use it, and you'll never even have to think about the specific Twine format that your game is in. But if you'd like to give it a slightly different look, I'll show you how in another video. And I'll also upload a file that you can just import. Now here's a way of saving your work as a backup in addition to the automatic way that Twine has of doing it. You can export to HTML. And I recommend doing that every once in a while because sometimes Twine doesn't recognize keystrokes that we're used to, and it can delete a whole passage and it can be kind of hard to recover. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens more than I'd like, so.
All right, so before I move into showing you guys have any questions? All right. All right, so this is Twine. So the game that I was trying to make once I learned it was this mobile-based fighting game. And because that was taking too long for us to develop, you know, got to get game designers and programmers and all that kind of good stuff. I decided, oh, I'll just do a comic book version of it or a light novel version of it in the meantime to kind of like get everybody hyped up for the game. And then when I had this class, I was like, oh, I'll just make some Twine games, right? So what you would do is you would come here and you will click on new. And I keep changing the name of the series. For now, we're going to call it Sportscasters. And essentially, what my professor, former professor, was saying was, you'll start off with this passage. Think of it as kind of like a page that you were doing, writing a book. You double click. The first thing I usually try to do is rename it. So, since this is the beginning, I'll usually say something like introduction. And then let's just say I'm not going to do the fighting game example. We're just going to do rock, paper, scissors. So we're just going to say you are Samantha and you are playing rock, paper, scissors with Michelle. So as you can see, the passage is already updating. You have to choose which one you are going to play. And then, like he said in the video, you're going to use open brackets. You're going to use 2. And here you're going to say play rock. And then 2 closing brackets. That's going to give your next passage. And what I try to do is I try to keep them separate so that I know like where my branching dialogue, well, for me, my branching narrative, where it's going. Then you can press enter, 2 open brackets, play paper, 2 closing brackets, play scissors, closing brackets. So now so now you can close this. And now we have our branching narrative. So when the player plays, it's going to look like this. Let me see if I remember how to. Oh. So this is how the game's going to look to the player. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. And as you can see, there's our narrative. And then here are the choices. So ideally, the player will click, and it's coming up blank because we just haven't written anything for it yet. So now, I guess the idea, because like I said, I didn't get too far with doing this. The idea is, like I said, I like to separate it this way because as of right now, we're saying there's 3 different paths that the player can go, right? So let's say, let's work on play rock. You can double click, and you notice that the choice is now the title of your next page. So let's just say you play rock, and we'll just say, and Michelle played scissors. Now we're just gonna have some fun just so you guys can see how the branching narrative goes. She gets mad and punches you in the face. Punch her back. Do nothing but cry. And again, now we have 2 choices for the player to make. Well, a choice for the player to make. So again, when you go to test it, did I hit the wrong thing? So like if they chose rock, and as you can see, it's just a continuous process of the player is going to choose um, different actions. So again, I was trying to adapt it into the fighting game, and what I learned when I was trying to do it for the past couple months is that I think for my sanity, I need to do a story for each character and not try to do each character within the same story. So at first, when I tackled this years ago, it would be like introduction. And like when you get into a fighting game, you choose your fighter. So it would be like choose Terrio, choose Mickey, choose, and then I would have their branching narratives. It got to be too much. So one of the things that I quickly learned was that each character needed their own story. So this is Caitlin, and this was me basically trying to do the fighting game. Now I don't know if a fighting game will really translate here, because obviously one of the choices should lead you to losing. And that's something I kept forgetting as I was writing this, that oh, it can't just be her always winning. There's got to be a wrong choice or a bad choice or a worse choice, right? So but yeah, so that's pretty much it. I didn't want to like bog you guys down. I think it's a cool concept. It's something that again, it's another form of fiction that I think not a lot of people do, so that will probably make us stand out a little more. It builds upon game writing skills. So yeah, so if you're interested in still learning more, um, you'll be helping me out with sportscasters or whatever I decide to call it. Now, ideally, what I would like to do if we have more people is to make Twine games based off each series. But I want to focus on sportscasters because again, that was already supposed to be a game that we were adapting into a light novel. So yeah, that's it. Any questions, comments, Mickey?
Not really. It looks kind of simple to grab. Just have to work with it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So and that's what I was telling you. I was like, if I wasn't showing you the video and went over it, it it would seem like a lot, like especially once you start. Because I remember
Mm.
my first time, I was like, wait, I don't understand what's happening here. But but yeah, when you have somebody walk you through it, it's like I told you guys last week, it's actually really, really simple. You just got to make sure that you're keeping track of your choices that you're giving the player.
Well, it doesn't look like that as it's not as daunting as I thought it was. That makes me kind of happy.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Samantha, I guess she's not there. Michelle.
That's really awesome. I was a huge fan of the Choose Your Own Adventure or the Try Not to Die series. So this is kind of it's neat that this something like this really exists.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like it's its own niche. So again, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, a lot of people are making money or a lot of people are like really popular. But it does seem like I forget what website it is, but there's a website that's dedicated to just Twine games. I mean, you go on there, there's like different types, there's like romance, there's murder mysteries. So, that's why I said I would like to see us try to do this for the other series because I'm like, oh, Favorite Athena will probably actually fit really well here. I never really thought about that when I was in school, but now that I had time to think about it, I'm like, oh, this could be our thing. And like I said, you're working on game writing skills. And that's the other way to look at it too, is that it's I remember I was a huge fan of those books when I was growing up. Just the choose your own adventure series. So, but you know, the ones that I got were always like sports related. So, yeah, I think you know, I think it's really cool. I just never had the time to really invest, but you know, now that I don't have a job and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, oh, why not try it and see what happens. So, but yeah, it's not as daunting. I do think it becomes daunting if you try to be too complex. You know what I mean? Like I said, like trying to put 8 characters and then have all of them have like their in one story is a lot. I think if you keep it simple and try to keep the my professor told us like on the side, like the way to look at it is rock, paper, scissors. And then rock, paper, scissors after that, rock, paper, scissors. Or, you know, if you're only given 2 choices, then, you know. So yeah, I think it's cool. You know, I would like to try to do that for draft pool, sportscasters, MVP. Those are the names that it's been called. So yeah, so if you guys are still interested, we'll probably just do that. I think I think I gotta look at my schedule. I think that's supposed to be the Saturday post once we start publishing the chapters. And I was thinking we could all just work on the different characters from draft pool. Like I'm still working out their profiles and stuff. I'm doing that for all the series right now. So but yeah, that's all I got. How's everybody doing? Any news?
Right. I didn't have any news, but did you say we were having another meeting on Saturday?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
No, I need Saturday to see if I can I need tomorrow. Truthfully, I need tomorrow and I need Saturday and I need most of the day Sunday to see if I can finish Sword Dancers. And then so I need to do essentially I need to revise it and then I also need to edit it. Um I don't think I have time for my we do have an editor on board, but I don't think I have the time to wait for her because the book is supposed to be released on the 28th. I don't think I have time to wait for her to edit. So I'm just going to knock out all 50 chapters because it's 50 chapters. And I'm gonna try to knock out all 50 revisions of you know the chapters. And then I think as crazy as it's going to sound, I think I'm gonna try to do the artwork myself since the artist didn't come through. So yeah, I'm going to be really busy this weekend. So yeah, no meeting on Saturday.
But yes.
Yeah. So in addition to that, I gotta get these updated beat sheets and outlines to you guys. So I'm almost done with the Angel Protocol team. And then I'm gonna start copycats and then favorite thing. So like I said, no meetings other than the Sunday.
Yeah.
So I liked everybody's ideas so far. I think yeah, no, I'm caught up. I caught up on I think last Monday. So yeah, we're looking good. I was telling my friend, I was like, yeah, we're all on target. The writers are on target. Everybody seems to be going in the right direction, or if they're not going in the direction that I thought, it's not too far off, which is which is cool. I guess that's the difference between trying to meet with everybody weekly and because like I said last year, I was kind of like, all right, here you guys go, hit me up if you need me. And then some of the series got out of control, and then people got overwhelmed, and then I got overwhelmed because then I realized, oh no, now I gotta read like four, not just four chapters, but we were breaking the chapters into essentially like parts. So trying to keep up with all the parts, and then I was working a 10-hour job and going to training and stuff. It was just a lot. But the new schedule that we have, where everybody's going to, we're working everything on a weekly basis instead of a daily basis, has been a lot better for me, and I hope it's not stressing you guys out, because again, that was the goal, was to make sure that the process this year doesn't stress you guys out, because like I said, I had a writer last year who they stressed out, and then I think one of my other writers just got bored. I don't know why, but they got bored. So I'm hoping that this new system allows, because we are going to see each other every week and all that kind of stuff. I hope that that helps, keeps everybody motivated. You know what I mean? But again, that's all I got. If you guys don't have any questions, or you can, if you think of anything, you guys can always hit me up. And you guys have a good night.
Good night.
Everyone. See everyone Sunday.
Yep. See you guys Sunday.